NBA trade deadline is over. Raptors got their business done. As usual, the Raptors got their business done in advance of, the last hour or two. They like to get stuff done the night before, as we saw with Brandon Ingram. They like to get stuff done earlier in the day, as we saw with Davion Mitchell. But notably, the Raptors took back PJ Tucker, and also notably, the Raptors did not take back Chris Boucher. So let's discuss what that means for the team. And we will discuss this like you haven't been watching on the live stream this entire time. But to stay up to date with the content so you don't miss out on stuff on the channel, please make sure you're subscribed. Also, please make sure you drop a like if you are enjoying the content along the way. So, recap for what the Raptors got done at the deadline. Traded for Brandon Ingram. Traded away Davion Mitchell. And in one last swoop to do something to capitalize on some assets with the extra bit of salary, the cap space the Raptors had, James Wiseman joins Brandon Ingram as a former second overall pick who is now under contract with the Toronto Raptors. This one, I guess they didn't get this done early. They got this one done later on because this one happened at 3:01. But yeah, last-ditch sort of deal here. Indiana get off of the Wiseman contract. Raptors get a little bit of cash. Wiseman on a $2.5 million player option at the end of the season. He's recovering from a torn Achilles. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. James Wiseman is not good. Don't be fooled by his draft position. He's not good, but Raptors will have a chance to get a look at him and decide if they want to proceed with that because the only big under contract at the moment is Jakob Poeltl. They do need rim protectors. James Wiseman is the furthest thing away from a rim protector, other than like a guy like T.J. McConnell. But yeah, whatever. You get some cash there. Also today, the Raptors capitalized on some additional assets. They traded away Davion Mitchell for a second-round pick from the Miami Heat. The salary that was attached for that is P.J. Tucker. Please don't comment on this. Why did we trade for P.J. Tucker? Don't worry about it. They're not even people, okay? They're just contracts at this point. That is the worst possible way to word it. But it is just contracts that you're trading for. It is salary. Are we still live? Did we disconnect? Are we live? Are we good now? I think we're good now. Seems like we're good now. It's just salary. It was salary that matched up with Davion Mitchell, which allowed the Raptors to get a second-round pick. Okay? That's it. PJ Tucker didn't report for, who does he even play? The Clippers, I think. Didn't even report for them this, or I think it was there for preseason, then he was just away from the team. We have a new subscriber here. Lauren McConnell. Thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying the content. PJ Tucker has been on his couch all season. He's not going to play. It is just salary to move a second-round pick to the Raptors. That second-round pick is a 2026 second-round pick via the Lakers. The decision to trade Davion Mitchell is pretty simple. 2 days ago, the Raptors played against the Knicks. They were relatively healthy, and Davion Mitchell got a DNP because they prioritized the Jamal Shed minutes. Yesterday, Davion Mitchell played, yes, but Jamal Shed was the starting point guard in the absence of Emmanuel Quickley. It is clear the Raptors want to prioritize working on Jamal Shed's game, first of all, as a rookie. Second of all, Davion Mitchell is an RFA at the end of the season. The Raptors would have to pay him at the end of the season. They need to allocate a lot of their finances towards a Brandon Ingram extension, therefore would not be paying Davion Mitchell. Therefore, instead of having issues at the end of the season with him walking or paying him, the Raptors decided to get a second-round pick instead. So that trade was fine for the Raptors to make. Absolutely. The pick seems so low value. It's, what's lower value? It's not getting anything for Dave Mitchell end of the year. Like, they need to free up cap space. They need space to pay Brandon Ingram. So they can't pay Mitchell. And Jamal Shed, they've been playing anyways. Like, they've been playing Jamal Shed over him anyways as of late. So yeah, this trade made sense for me. The deal that didn't get done today is Chris Boucher. There were rumors that the Denver Nuggets were the team that was interested, but just a trade didn't end up materializing. Ultimately, the finances didn't really work out here. The Denver Nuggets wanted to move off of likely Zeke Naji to make this trade happen. Zeke Naji's making $8.1 million next year. You'd need that cap space to pay Brandon Ingram, so you can't take him on. Also, that's a bad contract you don't even want. They would want to move off Dario Saric as well to make this trade happen, but even if it's Dario Saric, we plug it in here to the trade machine, even if we do Dario Saric on $5 million, they still need to add on another $5.7 million for this trade to work. And to get there, they just don't have players they really want to trade other than Najee. You can add in Chanchar, who's making $2 million, but then that's really it. There's just not a lot of other things they could do to get to the $10.8 million they need to get to make this trade happen. On top of that, Denver don't have any second-round picks to attach to this. So the Raptors are doing them a favor by taking on this salary. They need to attach a pick to make that worth it for the Raptors. The only pick they could trade is a 2031 pick, which obviously they are not going to use to acquire Chris Boucher. So in the end, that deal collapsed. Why the Raptors weren't able to send Boucher elsewhere? Probably largely to do with just they weren't able to find expiring salary for that. All they were finding for Boucher was non-expiring salary. So they need that contract to clear at the end of the season so that they can pay Brandon Ingram, right? Because Ingram's going to get a lot of money at the end of the season. If the Raptors today, if you're upset, had traded Boucher to the Heat for PJ Tucker in a second and not traded Mitchell, you guys probably wouldn't say anything. Just think about it like that. Boucher is going to expire into the season, and it'll be like that's what happened, right? We'll touch on Brandon Ingram here. The reports that have come out since the trade happened, I've done loads of content on that, so we don't need to rehash anything here. But Brandon Ingram, I like the trade for starters. Brandon Ingram, the reports have come out saying he's excited about the possibility, about the prospect of playing with the Raptors. He's excited about the opportunity, and he thinks he can take the Raptors to the next level. The Raptors would not have made this trade without first clearing up two things. Number one, ensuring he wants to play here. Number two, ensuring that he would want to re-sign at the end of the season. So this is not just an uncalculated trade for Ingram where, oh my God, now we have to make sure he re-signs in the year. Raptors, I'm sure, had a handshake agreement behind the scenes with Brandon Ingram that he's going to stay with the team beyond the season. They have their bird rights to help ensure that is going to happen. So, that's where we stand for Brandon Ingram. You have to get comfortable with the idea of Brandon Ingram potentially getting a max contract. He's going to get a lot of money, and he wouldn't have agreed to re-sign if he wasn't going to get paid a lot of money. So you're going to have to come comfortable with that. So all in all, trade deadline, Raptors lose Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, the 2026 first-round pick via Indiana, and Davion Mitchell. They get Ingram. They get James Wiseman. They get Cash. They get a second-round pick. And PJ Tucker, who will never play for the Raptors. He's played twice in the past, but won't play for them again. He will get bought out, or they will just allow that contract to expire at the end of the season. They're going to allow that contract to expire at the end of the season because you know why. So, yeah, that's how the moves went down for the Raptors as a whole. Overall trade deadline, I'm happy with the Ingram trade. I am fine with the Mitchell trade. I wish we could have traded Boucher and gotten a little something out of that. I can understand why we didn't. It would have been nice if we did. But, yeah, overall trade deadline, B+. Solid overall by the Raptors. Buy low spot on Ingram. I've spoken enough about that trade. Get something out of Davion Mitchell. I think it's fine. If you're giving max money to Ingram, what's the point of trading Pascal then? Brandon Ingram is 3 years younger than Pascal Siakam, and alongside Brandon Ingram, Pascal Siakam got you Jacoby Walter and Ochai Agbaji. So imagine you traded Pascal Siakam for Brandon Ingram, Ochai Agbaji, and Jacoby Walter. And the blue chip player of the deal is 3 years younger than Siakam. That's it. Logical explanation behind everything the Raptors did this year.